Good morning. This is the weekend update for Sunday, May 19th. You recall in the video on Thursday, I know some of you guys were laughing about the attitude I had regarding that monster 42-point sell-off we had on Wall Street on Thursday. And you recall me saying how stupid it was, the chatter out there. CNBC had to scramble on Friday because they booked a bunch of bears because the market was about to implode. But as you recall, I mentioned in the chat room and in the video that Friday was a big Fed cash day, POMO as it's called. That's when they pumped that liquidity into the market. 5 billion or so actually ended up being the number, and lo and behold, the market went boom. And coincidentally, it was options expiration, and for the 501st time, the shorts got bent over the barrel again, and up we go. No top in sight. We've actually started to see the speculative money really start to come into play, especially over the last few days, and that is great. Nice charts are starting to move. Small caps tech stocks are starting to wake up right now. We're seeing some very, very positive signs, and something we haven't seen in small caps in a long time. Momentum. You know, if we've got a small cap tech stock, be it optical, small cap tech stock, the peers are moving if the chart is nice, and that is a great scenario to be in right now. This upcoming week, not a whole lot of earnings reports, but we need to keep an eye out for Wednesday is the release of the last Fed minutes, and of course, with the economic data that's come out recently and the chatter from those two bear Fed guys last week, there is, of course, 900 more articles regarding the Fed tapering off their bond purchases. But this week, we actually have speeches from a couple of the QE Infinity bulls. So we'll see, who wins the argument this week. One thing to keep in mind, with all this massive liquidity that is flooding into the global markets, inflation is dead, at least the way it is measured. They're saying retail sales, the pop that we had in retail sales was thanks to the drop in oil prices. But when you step back and look at it, we're paying close to $4 a gallon for oil. Absolutely ridiculous, but still that's the case. And we still, that little small 15-cent drop we had over the last month or so had such a nice impact on retail sales. Inflation is still very, very subdued. And I continue to say, inflation/deflation is really one of the big focuses for the Fed. They want 2 to 3% inflation, and we're getting not even 1% right now. So even if we do start to see the job market pick up, we are far away from that 6.5% where the shock will come into the market. You got a lot of chatter out there about how overbought we are, and of course we're mega overbought. But I continue to allude to the fact that this market is a lot like 1995. If you go back and look at the charts from 1995, almost identical. We're at that same pace right now, up 16% in the first half of the year. The market gained 34% in 1995 and really didn't have any significant sell-offs during that period. If we look at the Dow transportation stocks, bad language there. A much tighter rising wedge here. We've got support right now at the 8-day moving average. And if we flip over, the Russell looks exactly the same. Very strong money flow, a lot of money coming in. And that's really where we stand. If we look at the, Dow 15-minute chart here. Here's the 15-minute chart. Usually don't see such an extremely tight wedge all the way up, and it's just been getting tighter and tighter and tighter as we've been moving higher here, trying to break out each and every time. And when we do get a pullback, they're not very big. I've highlighted when we've had really overbought RSI. 2 of the last 3 times we had minor little dips. We had a little dip here. This one, the last 2 times though, were extreme levels, and even those sell-offs that we had were about 150 points, if that. And the last 2 times we barely had a little bit of a drop. So it's something we need to keep an eye on. It was options expiration. We could be in store for a little bit of a pullback on Monday, but a stat to keep in mind, Tuesdays, I was reading that the last 17 Tuesdays have been up days, so Maybe it's going to be 18 this time, especially if we get a little bit of a pullback on Monday. But the one thing about a pullback on Monday, if the large caps do pull back, I suspect we will see even more momentum in the small cap stocks as long as we don't get over a 100-point dip on the Dow. Quick look at the oil chart. Possible breakout looming here on oil, $98, $99 level, as you can see here. And the indicators, RSI bouncing off 50, and the little uptick in stochastics are kind of supportive for a possible breakout move in oil this week. And the reason we're going to pay attention to this is if we do see a break up above $98, $100 on oil, we could see the small cap oil stocks definitely come into play. So get those little small oil stocks ready. Really hasn't been a whole lot of momentum in them, but if we do see a break up in oil, we could see some very nice action in those stocks this week. So we're going to be looking to pay close attention to those. Anyway, let's jump into some stock charts right now. JOEZ, Joe's Jeans, very nice pop earlier in the week. Just pulled back without any bounce on Thursday, and we started to bounce back on Friday. So we're looking for a breakout over 2 this week. Break of 2, and we're looking for a move to 220 as our first target. And the next buy on this one would be the 2204 range break is where I'd be looking to add to my position on this one. Now, as I mentioned earlier, the small cap tech stocks have just started to take off. MTSN, big pop on Friday, and this actually started setting off a lot of moves in some of the other plays like ACLS. These guys had a bad earnings report, and look, since that little dip, the stock is up 15%. So we started to move into some of the smaller tech plays in that sector. ZHNE, these guys are profitable. 1 cent EPS. Matson, ACLS, don't even make any money. This one, nice little triangle breakout on Friday. We jumped into it 92 to 94 cents. Traded as high as 102 before that little late day dip, but very nice break on this one, and it's profitable. First target, 115 to 124. I will be looking to add this one. 94 cents on under on any dips. Nice volume spike on Friday. We are looking at having a positive MACD cross probably tomorrow. And the last 2 positive MACD crosses on this stock, we saw the stock go from 80 cents to 115, and the time before that, we saw it go from 58 to 124, although it wasn't that much of a negative move on the MACD as we're seeing on these 2 times. And we also have stochastics, exactly where we like to see it, bouncing off the 20 level and get ready to break up through 50. So this one looks very, very nice going into this week. Another one, IKAN. Nice little sell-off on this one over the last 2-3 weeks. Bottoming action in the 140s. Downtrend break is right here at the 150 level. 155 is where the chasers will come in. First target is the 50-day at 173. We've got a nice bounce starting on RSI. Positive MACD cross from an extreme negative level. And if you can look at the chart here, the last time we had an extreme negative MACD and then a positive cross, over that few days leading up to the cross, the stock moved from 155 to 185. So what's that, 20% almost pop over the course of a week. So 20% pop would take us all the way back up to that 175, 180 level this week. And RSI exactly where we want to see it. So this one looks very, very nice for a continuation move this week. WaveX was looking great on Friday, looking ready to break out, was at 46 cents, and then the last 15, 20 minutes of the day, they pulled the rug. It went from 46 down to 40.5 cents. Dips like that, on no news, late in the day, that is an ad. Great pickup. First target still remains the 20-day at 48 cents, 20% higher. And these small tech stocks are really starting to get some action right now. And this one should see a very, very nice bounce from these oversold levels on Monday. Couple of stocks to keep an eye on this week. STEM, the stem cell stock, starting to get a lot of chatter, a lot of press. This one's on watch for a break through the $2 level with 210, 215 as the first target. Big winner in the pop scan on Friday was, of course, RAD, R-A-D. Very nice breakout. Continuation move on this one to the $3 level should be seen. I mean, this is another case of something I mentioned a couple of weeks ago about the large cap small price stocks just exploding higher. And what really started that trend was AMD. AMD, big move, of course, going into the Microsoft May 21st, what is that, Wednesday release of the new Xbox. And on Friday, this one actually had a golden cross. Pretty significant development for the chart. Had the dip right before it. You could see this one going into Wednesday, retesting the highs there. So definitely one to look for some intraday moves. And it's got very high volume. So there's a lot of volume to play on this one. You don't have to worry about being stuck in it and keeping your stops. You know, it needs to hold the $4 level, probably in my opinion, over the next couple of days. I'd be surprised if we don't see it try to push up. And we'd be watching the gamer stocks as well going into the Xbox launch event. One last update. Coco. You recall last week I sent out that list of short squeeze plays, and this one, wow, 50% move. Actually, what, 45% in 4 days on this stock. Unbelievable. There are still some very nicely set up short squeeze plays, and one by one they're going after these short squeeze plays. So definitely go over that list. It's on the website under trading alerts. I've got that list. There's only about 15-20 stocks on that list, so definitely go check it out. So that's it for the video. I think we're going to be in store for a very nice week in the stocks that we play. So get ready. And again, if you can, come into the chat room, because a lot of these moves are out of the blue. I mean, I've been trying to send out the trading alerts, but hopefully we'll start to see more of the swing plays work, and this will be the key for it this week. So that's it for the video. Enjoy the rest of your weekend, and see you guys tomorrow. Bye.